Think of something.
Okay, Felicia.
Yeah.
Really? I remember, okay, some of my fondest remembers. Does anybody, Sean, you should remember, Craig should remember, going to the beauty shop to clean with them? And getting the good pop, and because we wasn't getting a lot of sugar from Big Mama, Big Papa them now. When Big Mama wasn't around, Big Papa would sneak us cookies and stuff like that. He would always have treats for us, cookies and stuff stashed in the cabinet that Big Mama couldn't reach. You know, she could never reach the top shelf of anything. So. But going to the beauty shop with them and cleaning on Fridays. I remember, of course, eating out of the garden. I remember how many apple trees was in that garden? I remember a pear tree and 2 apple trees, one red, one green. And I remember the deep freezer always being full. Big Mama would be like, well, go get it out the deep freezer. Bread. Yeah. I didn't know you could freeze bread until yeah. I remember Sundays that Big Mama would get up and make pancakes, biscuits, sausage, bacon.
Make that for me.
And we would be throwing down and she'd be like, okay, let's go to church. Yeah, like, Big Mama was still eating. Wait! I can remember, I can kind of say summer parties because we'd be almost all the grandkids over there on the weekends. Yep. And we'd be in different rooms. Some of us would be on the floor. Some of us would be in bed. We would be, Big Mama would always say, stop that cackling. Why y'all doing all that cackling? We'd be laughing into the wee hours of the morning. Of course, they went to bed early, so. I can remember Mutt, the dog. I can remember Spotty, the horse. I can remember a cow named Betsy. I can remember Big Papa pulling us up and down the street. Yep. I can remember him putting the boys in the wheelbarrow, in the wagon.
The what?
He did that. In the back of his pickup truck just to go to the bank.
Pickup truck?
Just a whole lot of, a lot of the kids in the neighborhood wanted to come down to our grandparents' house. And we had all the stuff. And what's the most amazing to me, we didn't have none of these electronics. None of them. And we had more fun. Life was so much easier. You didn't have Twitter, you didn't have Facebook, you didn't have none of that. And we found something to do every single day. Every day. And a lot of times Big Mama would be like, y'all get on outside. Just go outside. And her favorite thing was, you gonna go in, you gonna stay out, or you gonna stay in. I can remember 4th of July's out there. Yeah. Just all the fireworks we could pop, all the junk we could eat. I can remember going grocery shopping with them at, oh Lord, what was the name of that grocery store on
Greenhouse.
Yes. Yes. And those were, I don't know, it's just something about, that was what I call when life began. I mean, we were honestly living. We were reading. We weren't always watching TV. I can remember when we did watch TV all together, we'd either be watching Lucille Ball, Archie Bunker, Carol Burnett show, which was a treat for us. I know Sheila had us hooked on the Carol Burnett show. That was it. And Gomer Pyle. We did a lot out there. We spent a lot of time in that little bitty house. Yeah. All of us would be in that little bitty house. And we made it work. I mean, it wasn't, I mean, a lot of the times the grown-ups would be down in the den, and then all the kids would either be outside, or some of us would be in the living room, some of us would be in the kitchen, and I never understood how Big Papa worked and fed everybody. Like,
He did it all.
we weren't the richest people, but anybody that was ever hungry could always come eat. There was always enough. People would drop by on Sundays just out of the blue, and we'd all be eating, and they'd sit down and eat with us. It was just always love in the house. It was always communication and just the mixing of all of us together, I think, was the best for me.
Amen. That's good.
Thank you for coming tonight.
Okay, you want to go second? It's your turn.
Well, I'll keep it short. I think we all have the same memories for the most part. Everybody who was there, and that was all of us. I think the biggest memory that I have is that when we moved here and going to school, and I go to school in the morning, I look up the cabinet. It didn't seem like when you're 7, you can't figure food and making stuff. It didn't seem like there was a lot there. There was never a lot there in my head. When we get home from school and there was nothing to eat or nothing cooked, nothing prepared, we'd be hungry, be like, whoa, you know, Granny, what you gonna cook? And there was nothing, there was never anything in our eyes. When we go out to play football or something, and every time, 30 minutes later, an hour later, we would come in and it smelled like restaurant quality. She come up with something out of the air.
I'm telling you.
And it was good.
Deep freezer.
Every time. I think half the time it was a goulash.
Yeah.
She called it goulash. The majority of the time, it was so good. Every time.
A lot of people old.
And that is I remember on holidays when she made that ice cream with that crank.
Oh, man.
It
did ice cream. You didn't get ice cream like that no more.
I remember when we used to climb those apple trees in the garden, and that girl in that janky house next door, I guess she cut her hand, and Dr. Sean put a leaf on her hand to heal it. It was aloe. It was aloe. It was aloe.
Kim Brown.
Well, it was a leaf, but we
Kim Brown.
It was a leaf. Okay. I don't know. I remember me and Sean and Chad playing football in the backyard. Routinely. That was every day. That was every day after school and on Saturday. Me and Colin against Joe, and there's always 3-on-2. We never could get the squads evened up. Me and Colin used to murder them. We come in, and I remember spending the night over. It was a treat when Donnell let us spend the night over their house. It was a headache for her.
It was what, 5 boys in the house then?
Me and Joe got to spend the night on like a Friday night, whatever. She would cave under the pressure. She finally said, okay, maybe like once a month or once every 2 months, we go spend the night. I remember that. I don't remember all these shows that Felicia's talking about, but I remember watching the news at 5 o'clock. And it's like half of us were sitting in that den, and Big Papa would come in, he'd put his pipe down.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hello, Fred. And he'd sit down, and he'd watch the news, and that was it's amazing the little stuff that you remember. He didn't make noise while he's watching the news, and then it seemed like his dessert, I swear, even when there was no cornbread, it was cornbread and buttermilk.
Yep.
And it's like, where did that come from? We didn't have cornbread tonight, so he always would magically appear. That was his thing. I never quite wrapped my head around that, but that was his thing. So, but one thing I appreciated about him is he was so calm.
Yeah.
He was so calm and so peaceful. I don't remember him ever getting upset, except the time when my mom called and me and Joe acted up and he came over with the switch. Outside of that, I never remember him getting upset. He was calm and he was peaceful, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Yeah, he did. Oh, yeah, you know what? One time. One time.
A twitch.
One time. Yeah, y'all remember Big Papa? He was so calm and peaceful.
Calm though.
One time, me and Joe were just being 8, 9, terribly, 9, whatever. We were being bad. And Joe remembers this to this day. He came and jacked me up like this and put me against the wall like this. And I was quaking in my boot. And Joe laughs about it to this day. That's like that's the 2 times out of all those, just 2 times I've ever seen him upset. And I got right. I got my mind right after that. And there was no more phone calls. I think I was good after that. But I remember those. I still have a letter that he wrote me when I moved to Seattle. He told me that he hopes I turn out okay and stay, don't take drugs. And I still got the letters, stay away from gangs. And always love the Lord. I got that letter in the mail, and I still have it. That was 25 years ago. That was a long time. I got that letter to this day. And that was it was good. It's grateful to hold on to those memories and then be able to pass them down to your children and those stories. What the thing that's challenging that I wish we could still do. It seemed like every Sunday, and I know it wasn't every Sunday, but it seemed like every Sunday we were at Granny's house. Stop. Every Sunday we were at Granny's house, or every other Sunday it seemed like, anyway, eating. And Donnell would bring a pie or some pies. Mom would make a cobbler or some German chocolate cake.
Something sweet.
And everybody would cook.
You make me.
Over there.
Everybody would cook. And we would get fat. It was like, I'm saying it like it was it might have been every other Sunday, maybe once or twice a month, maybe, but it seemed like all the time when you were 8 or 9 years old. We're always over there eating, especially on Sundays.
Good food.
And I wish that's one thing that I held. I know Chad is big on, getting the family together and fellowshipping. And that's one thing that, and I remember, not a lot of things, but that's one specific thing that I remember from back then that I wish we could incorporate, even now, getting everybody together and, laughing and just, and fellowshipping and spending time. But I do remember that, though.
Correct?
My memories of my big mama and big papa. I adored them. They were so sweet, so loving. My heart is pounding now just thinking about it. I remember being all over Big Papa. I was just that type of girl. I don't know if I was boy crazy or what, but I've always loved men, real men. He was a real man. He was so loving, so laid back. I would be all over him in his hair, playing with it. He would just fall asleep. He didn't care. I would just follow him all around, everywhere he went, in the garden, out on the patio when he's smoking his pipe. And Big Mama would say, "Get in here, you don't need to be smelling that stuff," but he didn't mind. I like the smell of the aroma. I just liked it. Big Mama just always giving. She was always giving something, whatever she had. Cooking those pancakes. I don't think I've ever had a pancake like hers. Ever. Sitting up there watching Wheel of Fortune. I didn't like it, but I'd sit there and watch Wheel of Fortune, and I think, that's one of the main shows.
And The Price is Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd be like, I don't want to watch these shows, but I'll sit up there and watch them.
Soap operas. Yeah.
And she just be relaxing in her chair. And she always had some sweets.
Yep.
That's where I get my sweet tooth from. If I can let that go, I'll be good, but it's in me. I just really treasure those getting together as family over their house. Those are some of the fondest memories I have. Just, that was the house for
Everything.
every good memory. I mean, I can't think of anything bad that ever happened over there. It was just always laughter, joy. Just, nobody had a family like mine in my little world when I was little. Nobody still does, but just to be so proud of your family and your grandparents and your aunt. I mean, I looked up to you, Aunt Darnell. I just, like, you're the most beautiful woman ever. What?
What that?
I just was like, if she has all boys, I was like, why didn't she have a girl? I'm just
You gonna be okay?
yeah, you got plenty. Now. It's my whole family. I can't leave. They started, they're the legacy, but I'm just proud of my cousins. I mean, I look up to y'all. We're around the same age, but y'all are real men, just like Big Papa. And that makes me so proud to see that. And same spirit, laid back, very loving, very giving, very caring.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. I love to see that. So